So today I'm going to show you how to find the square root of a number that is not a perfect square. Not sure how the sound is. Hopefully you're going to be able to hear me. All right, so when we're talking about perfect squares, if I say 3 squared, which means 3 times 3, the answer is 9. We can flip that around and we can also say the square root of 9 equals 3. So when we talk about the perfect squares, we think 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25, 6 squared is 36, 7 squared is 49, 8 squared is 64, 9 squared is 81, and 10 squared equals 100. So all of these numbers that I'm highlighting are what we call perfect squares. Because when we find the square root of any of these numbers, we get a whole number. But there's also other numbers in between those numbers that we should be able to find the square root of, whose decimal answers are going to be 0. So for example, if I wanted to find the square root of 52, the first thing you do is you think about a number line. And on my number line, I'm going to think of which two of these perfect squares does 52 land between. And if we think about it, 52 is bigger than 49 and it's smaller than 64. So we're going to put 49 on this side, and the square root of 49 is 7. And we're going to put 64 on this side, and the square root of 64 is 8. So now if we think about that, we should know that the square root of 52 is now going to be, oh, hold on though, we're not getting an exact answer. We are estimating. So we don't use an equal sign. We do a little wavy equal sign, which represents about. So now, if it's between 7 and 8, we know it's going to be 7 point something. Now we have to figure out what that decimal number will be. So here's 7, here's 8. Between 7 and 8, we have 7.5. Go back to the top number line. If we think about 52, 52 is closer to 49 than it is to 64. So we'll just move the 52 over here somewhere. And the last step, you think, if 52 is about there, we would say that the square root of 52 is, we could say it's about 7.2. And when you look at your calculator, it actually calculates to 7.2111, and the numbers go on and on. So I would say that that's probably a pretty good estimation. We could also, let's try a second example. If I wanted to know the square root of, of 23. Again, look at your perfect squares that I have highlighted here. And 23 lands between 16 and 25. So you draw your number line. Square root of 16 is smaller than 23. Square root of 25 is larger than 23. And then the square root of 16 is 4. The square root of 25 is 5. And right in the middle is 4.5. Now think, 23 is closer to 25, so it's way over on this side, pretty close to 25. And then if we were to estimate the square root of 23, I'm just going to move it up there. If we were to estimate the square root of 23, we would say it's about, I would probably say if this is 4.5 and that's 5, I'd probably say about 4.7. And again, we're estimating, so if you look at the calculator, 4 point square root of 23, close bracket. 4.795. So 4.7 or 4.8 would both be acceptable answers. Let's try one more. Just going to clean this one up. So now I want to calculate the square root of 127. Now, if I look on my chart, I only go up to 100, so I have to extend it a little bit more and think that 11 squared is 121. It's bigger than that. 12 squared is 144. It's smaller than that. So those are going to be the two numbers on either side. 121, which is 11, and 144, which is 12. And here right in the middle is 11.5. So 127, I would say, is pretty close to 121. And if we think about it on the bottom number line, I would say probably 11.2 or 11.3. And when I did it with the calculator, I got 11.2694. So it's pretty close to either 11.2 or 11.3. So that is how you calculate the square root of a number that isn't a perfect square. I hope this little tutorial helped. If you have any questions, come talk to me about it in class.